Welcome back to Capital Connection. It's going to be a busy weekend on the political front with two countries headed for elections, Turkey and Thailand. We'll get to Turkey in just a bit, but first let's talk about the Thai elections. You can see here the benchmark SET index looking like this ahead of that poll. But let's get out to our SriJegarajah. He's in the capital, Bangkok, for insights on what this vote is going to look like. And Sri, just walk us through the expectations here.
Hi, Dan. Yes, well, first of all, the first thing to say is that this election, in terms of the agenda, it's really the bread and butter economic issues that are going to dominate. The high cost of living, household debt, and really managing the post-pandemic recovery in Thailand are going to be absolutely critical. I wanted to zero in on the cost of living issue because power is another big challenge. And I'm not talking about a political power struggle, but I'm talking about electricity tariffs, which have risen as high as 5 baht 33 satang a unit. So that is a record high. There was a uniform tax rate that was imposed that brings it down for business, but doesn't bring it down for consumers. So that is cold comfort really for consumers who are struggling with still relatively high inflation in Thailand. Many do blame, and you're very familiar with this in the Middle East as well, many do blame the global spike in nat gas prices accruing from the war in Ukraine as a reason for this. But there's also domestic challenges here related to gas supply and production, related to a concession takeover between Chevron and PTT in the Gulf of Thailand. That's another story. But the upshot here is that the Federation of Thai Industries says electricity is twice as expensive as that in Vietnam, which is a big issue from a Thai export competitiveness point of view. In Vietnam, it's 2.8 baht, the equivalent, a unit. So electricity is shaping up to be a big election issue here. On that note, I wanted to bring in my next guest, who is from coal producer Banpu. CEO is with me now, Somrudi Chani Mongkol, who joins me here in Bangkok for this conversation. Kun Som, very nice to see you, and good afternoon. Sawadee krap. Now, we were talking earlier about the importance of a more liberal energy policy. How confident are you that we will get this after the election?
Certainly, energy business is very important to Thai economy, and I believe that with the energy policy in every government, they will give a very high priority to manage to the best competitiveness, that we can have more and more investors coming into Thailand. So I personally strongly believe that we got to have a good energy policy as we always have, and even better if the government look for more liberalized the market and have some kind of policy similar to other industrialized countries that we invest in, like Japan, US, or even in Australia.
Yes, and that really speaks to Banpu's investment, and you are investing in clean energy projects in Japan, in Australia, that do have more relatively liberal green energy policies. You want to see the government, whoever that government is after the election, adopt a more liberal green energy policy. Is it moving in the right direction, though, here in Thailand?
I believe so. Since the last government, we also see the policy is shifting to a more decentralization of the energy, so that the factory, like the owner of the factory, they can have their own energy production. They have a term so-called prosumer, meaning you produce by yourself and you consume by yourself. I believe that the energy policy will move forward with a very positive to the investor and also private sector.
But in the here and now, as we've been saying, the electricity tariffs have been at record levels, and this is a big problem for business competitiveness when you compare the electricity tariff in Vietnam And then from a cost of living point of view for Thai households and the Thai people, what can be done to mitigate that situation?
Currently, with the world, I would say the world energy crisis that everyone face, I think for Thailand itself, the energy mix is the key. Currently, with the import and gas base, electricity is about 70%, and then for coal we have, which is remain a low price at about 12 to 16% for coal, and the rest is renewable. So I think going forward, if we can balance this energy mix much better and we can manage the base load better, the price will be manageable.
The Thai economy has been restructuring. Digital economy is a big push. The green economy is a big push as well under Thailand 4.0. Moving the supply chain up the value added ladder is very important. Just walk us through, Kun Som, what Banpu is doing to decarbonize the portfolio and also shift into the value added areas, especially with EVs and lithium-ion batteries.
Even though we invest in 10 countries in our portfolio, we also give priority to our Thai government policy, BCG, especially on the green economy. Banpu is moving toward the green economy by adding more energy technology. We design a total solution energy for sustainability. This is for Thailand and possible to expand to other countries that Banpu invests like Indonesia, Australia, US, Japan, or even in China. So we are in line with the government policy on the greener. We believe that the number of EV will be increasing significantly. Therefore, the battery or the total value chain of battery will be very important. That's why for Banpu, we are looking at the total value chain of battery is the key for the economy, driving into a greener economy. We invest in a battery production company in Singapore, Dura Power, and we are going to expand from 1 gigawatt hour to about 4 gigawatt hour by 2025. And not only just the production of battery, we also look at the whole value chain. Like we invest in a battery farm in Japan, about 58 megawatt hour, and that is for supporting the energy trading. And that Thailand is not allowed yet, but Japan, US, and Australia, yes. So with all of these value chain, we look at investing in OIGA, the battery swapping, or the Green Lion,
yes,
the battery recycling. Besides, we also join hand with a National Science and Technology, yes, Development Agency to develop Thailand into a faster or accelerate the decarbonization economy faster for Thailand.
Quite clearly, Banpu is decarbonizing the portfolio. Coal is increasingly a smaller mix of the energy production, and you are moving up the value chain. Kun Som, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Dan, I'm going to hand it back to you, and quite clearly investors and companies like Banpu really need to see more action in terms of the green economy, and hopefully we'll get some clarity after this election. Back to you now.